of truth. So I want to start with a daily dose of truth today. Every morning I wake up, I've shared this with you before. I've been going through some of my own just personal challenges as of late. So, like many of you probably get up each day. You might say a prayer here and there. I'm to the point now, like I get out of bed. First thing I do, I'm on all four. I am on all fours, right? Like that's where the Lord has brought me, where I'm just like, Father, help me get through the day. And then I do my best to try to open up my Bible, maybe, read a chapter and see what the Lord wants to share with me. So today, I want to share this with you because I believe it's really, really important as to the state of our nation. Somebody even say the state of our planet, but for the state of our nation for sure. So I open up this morning to Mark chapter 6. And if you're not familiar with Mark chapter 6, it talks about how the disciples are out and about. Jesus sees all these people out there, the 5,000. We'll get to that in a moment. And he's like, look, man, these people have really got no shepherd. I want to be their shepherd. Starts to get later in the day, and the disciples are like, hey, look, we need a break, right? We need to take a break here and get these people some food. Jesus is like, no. I got this. Don't worry about it. Just bring me the loaves of bread. Bring me some fish. We're good. So Jesus does his thing, says his little prayer. Next thing you know, 5,000 men, women, and children all get fed from just these little scraps of bread and a couple of fish. Major miracle, right? Like you would think if you're standing there with Jesus, he takes a couple loaves of bread, couple of fish, and you feed 5,000 men and women and children. You're like, whoa, okay, this dude can do something that I can't. So then later on in the chapter, they talk about where they're out in the boat and they say Jesus walking on water. And they're like, oh, it can't really be him. It's got to be a ghost. And what I want to get to is what Jesus says in that passage is, look, don't let your hearts be hardened. Essentially what he's saying is believe in miracles. Don't let your hearts be hardened. You just saw what I just did. Why can't you believe that I can do this? And I say all that because I was talking to a friend of mine earlier today about the passage, and he just brought up a really good point, and we talk about it often here on the show, is that I think one of the greatest gifts that you and I can do right now in the context of what's going on in the world today, our nation today, is lead with love. It is so easy right now with how discontent people are, how contrite things are, how challenging things can be to let your heart be hardened. It happened to me. I don't want to get into the details. At some point in this relationship with you, I might, but it happened to me in a way that it's not something I'm proud of. And I just want to encourage us to go, you know what? I know things are tough. I get it that we can all be going through challenging times, but we also don't know what the other person's going through. So the more that we can show up and really lead with compassion and lead with love and not let our hearts get hardened, I think then we can start to make a dent into this conversation in this nation to have the revitalization, the restoration that you and I often pray for and talk about and want to have. But at the end of the day, we all remember what Gandhi, I think, used to say. I think it was Gandhi, be the change you want to see in the world. It doesn't help. Like we had a great call one day where a guy calls into the show and he's like, Chris, I listen to a bunch of talk radio. I watch a bunch of this stuff on the news. And I'll say this to you, Chris, every time I listen to your show, I can listen to it and I'm not angry. I said, praise God, because that's something I focus on every single day. My intent here is to inform you. We talk about this often where I say, look, I share this with you, not to scare you, because a lot of things we talk about are, hey, this is what's coming, but to prepare you. So if you can listen to the show, you can be informed, your heart can be softened, and you can walk out in the world with more compassion, with more love, and do it in a way that actually makes a difference in people's lives where their hearts and their ears can be open. Guess what? We win. We win. And I share that in a little bit of a way because we're